You're listening to the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, the only wrestling podcast that gets uncooked, uncorked, and uncensored. What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm the hot commodity Ant, and tonight I'm joined by my own hot commodity as we have made it to WWF No Way Out 2000 live in Hartford, Connecticut. A lot of things are at stake here for WrestleMania 2000, and like we always do with every pay-per-view, we're going to cover what happened in that particular month of that particular year. And of course, this year is 2000. So we're covering everything from February. And he's cheating. He doesn't ask him some questions. Well,
I didn't read.
Oh, you didn't see anything? Well, oh. So do you know much about February 2000? Do you know? No, nothing at all. How old were you?
15.
15. Were you in high school? In February 2000?
Yes.
When did you start high school? 2000 or 99?
Yeah.
If you started 2000 in September, so you were still in 8th grade at this point. Oh, okay. 8th grade, hot commodity, living the dream. So you were watching obviously at this time, but you told me before you didn't really get a lot of the pay-per-views, so you just kind of heard it. But now you get to watch it, so that's good. It's a new side of things. So let's cover February 2000. I'm going to start with, like, because it's very short, sort of like things that took place in that month in the United States. So in February 2nd, The Sims is released. It's a popular PC game that is now on Xbox, PlayStation, and still on the computer. But
I played it on Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo, okay, shout out. Throwback, Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. Attitude Years, time capsule. Super Nintendo, that's the one with the no, that's Nintendo
Yoshi,
64.
Mario Yoshi.
Super Nintendo on The Sims?
No.
No, but you said you played The Sims on Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was out on Super Nintendo?
Yeah. There was a Sims game.
Back in like...
Oh, wait. No. I was thinking of the Lemmings. Never mind.
What is the Lemmings?
The Lemmings is kind of... It's like a weird video game.
You have to describe it now.
It's like...
I am worried about
You know, like the puzzles on the games on the phone where, like, you'll have to, like
Tetris,
or, like, it's like you make all the characters do the same thing. So, like, you have 100 guys, and they might have to, like, dig through or climb or, like...
and do different actions. Yeah. I kind of want to see this. The Lemmings. Is this show as popular when you were little?
Really popular, but it was a
video game. Oh, okay, it's cute. They're like little, like, okay, that's cute. Okay, it came out in 1991. Okay, so, but I guess it's similar because you control them.
Yeah.
Did they have their own language and stuff? Or
no?
I mean, yeah, it's 91. Technology wasn't that good. All right, so moving on. February 13th, the last Peanuts comic strip appears in newspapers. The artist and writer Charles Schultz died, I think, on February 2nd.
Hey, goodbye.
That's terrible. Are you? Oh, well, you're at least saying goodbye to the comic strip.
I was just kidding.
Do you like Peanuts?
I've never really read them, but they're cute.
My sister used to call me, oh God, was it
the messy one?
Yeah, what was it? Pigpen, yeah, growing up. Shout out to my sister for calling me Pigpen. You know what I used to call her? Bitch. Yeah, there we go. All right. All right, so now let's cover the top 10 movies of February 2000. Some of these I've never heard of before, some I did. So number 10 is The Cider House Rules, which
I've never seen that, but I've heard about it.
I had to sit with my ex mother-in-law, and let me tell you, that movie was like 3 hours
Shout out to
long.
Roseanne.
Oh yeah, I heard. Great. Shout out to her. Let me tell you, it was the most boring movie I saw. It's what's the name of that guy who's in it? Tobey Maguire. He like works in like an apple cider mill. Like it's about his life and like the depression and shit. It was really like one of those like Oscar movies that nobody likes, you know.
Yeah.
Number 9, The Green Mile, which you keep telling me I have to watch,
Yeah,
so I can go watch that. Number 8 is The Hurricane, which is a story I saw it when I was a senior in high school and in school. It's about a
hurricane.
no, I thought that's what it was. No, it's a boxer who his name was the Hurricane, and I think he like ended up dying or something. And Denzel Washington's in it. It's based off of the Bob Dylan song. Look out for the hurricane. Do 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 do. Okay. 7 is Pitch Black. Don't know. Number 6. Well, yeah. Let me just see what. Just to give substantial. We are a serious thing we've got running here, so we're gonna give you facts here. I did look this up the other day to kind of see, but at this point, I'm so high and my brain's fried all the time that I don't remember a goddamn thing. Pitch Black. That's what my mind is. Okay. It says a transport ship crashes and leaves its crew stranded on a desert planet inhabited by bloodthirsty creatures that come out during an eclipse.
No sci-fi.
It's a sci-fi movie. It has Radha Mitchell, Vin Diesel, nobody else that I know. Number 6, Hanging Up. What do you think this movie is about? I want to get your ideas before I tell you what they're about.
Probably a phone call.
A phone call?
Scary.
Okay. A trio of sisters bond over their ambivalence toward the approaching death of their curmudgeonly father, to whom none of them was particularly close. And this has Diane Keaton, Meg Ryan, and Lisa Kudrow. Sounds kind of that. Those are all good, funny people, so it could be funny. The Whole Nine Yards is number 5. Ever see that one? That's a popular one. It says a struggling dentist's life is turned upside down when a famous gangster moves in next door, and his wife convinces him to inform a notorious mob boss about the gangster's whereabouts. Ooh, that sounds pretty interesting. That's Bruce Willis, Matthew Perry, Rosanna Arquette, Michael Clark Duncan. A lot of people are in that. It's a good one. I'll have to watch that. Number 4, the Tigger movie, which of course Winnie the Pooh. I love Tigger. Number 3 is The Beach.
That's with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
He goes on vacation and they go to this beach. They're all fucked up.
Was it good?
No.
Was it worth the number 3 spot? No. Okay. Number 2, Snow Day, which I loved as a kid. I love that movie.
It's a cute movie.
Yeah. And then, what do you think is the number 1 movie of February 2000? No idea. No guess. It's not one that you even think. Scream 3. I've never seen any. I've seen like the opening of the first Scream, spoiler alert, when Drew Barrymore gets killed. But other than that, I haven't seen anything else. But yeah, those are the top 10 movies of February 2000. All right, top 10 songs. Number 10 is Hot Boys by Missy Elliott. Don't know that one. And I do like a lot of Missy.
Yes, we're on the list for last.
Yeah. Number 9, Smooth by Santana. 8, All the Small Things by Blink-182. Number 7, Get It On Tonight by Montel Jordan. Do you know that one? Get It On Tonight. I like that. Number 6, Maria Maria by Santana. That's another one. Maria Maria. 5, Breathe by Faith Hill. So let me hear you breathe. It's watching over me. I don't really like the song. Number 4, What a Girl Wants by Christina Aguilera. Number 3, Amazed by Lone Star. Every time you kiss me, something around me. Or it goes, I don't know how you do what you do. You know, it's like, I'm so in love with you. Fun fact, one of my older, well, I'm not friends with this person anymore, but that was her wedding song. We'll talk off the podcast. Number 2 is Thank God I Found You by Mariah Carey. I don't know that. Number 1, it was number 1 last month, as you said. I Knew I Loved You by Savage Garden. And I guess the fans love that song. I'm not a big fan of that song. I like Truly Madly Deeply better. I have memories of like driving around with like that playing, that Truly Madly. The I Knew I Loved You. It's good, but
They have a lot of
Crash and Burn. It's bad. Okay. So now we're gonna get to what everybody's here for, as Ant stares at me because he's hungry. We can eat. All right. So we have WWF No Way Out 2000 live in Hartford, Connecticut. And we're starting out. Well, were you excited about this show going into it?
Yeah.
I kind of was too.
It's all like leading to WrestleMania.
WrestleMania 2000. And we just watched this one too, the WrestleMania a couple months ago. Well, more than a couple months at this point, but when we were getting WrestleMania 40. Oh yeah, we are, duh, of course. Oh, look at that rule being me. Lay off me, we're watching WrestleMania. But we got it. It goes along with the whole, you can't like, with the storylines leading up to it, it'd be kind of pointless if you didn't watch it. Because it's like, and it's gonna get good, trust me. So we're starting off with the Intercontinental Championship. The champion Chris Jericho with China defending against the European champion Kurt Angle here. And this is a very good match here to start off the pay-per-view. Kurt Angle lands a super belly-to-belly suplex off the top rope. Angle then lands a German suplex for a 2. Y2J lands a double power bomb for a 2 count. Kurt Angle grabs the title, but then Jericho applies the walls. Angle hits an Olympic slam for 2. And then Chris Jericho pushes Kurt Angle, and then Angle kind of bumps into China, and China falls into the ring steps. And then the referee is outside dealing with China, which Jericho goes for a lion salt, but Angle hits Y2J with the Intercontinental title. And we have a new Intercontinental champion in Kurt Angle. He's now the Intercontinental champion here because he has both titles. You thought Jericho was going to win this one.
This
so
was a night of the heels.
Yeah, you weren't suspecting this.
And every match was like who I didn't watch.
A lot of your call. It's funny getting your thoughts on this because with current WWE stuff, you know what's going to happen. But like when it comes to this stuff, you have like no idea. And it's funny because I know. So I never want to tip you off. But yeah. But so you weren't expecting that. But what'd you think though? Was it a good match?
Yeah, that was good. I still like Angle.
He won, and we'll see these two later on. I like Jericho too. I felt like he had the title though for a bit, and we're gonna see what happens with Kurt Angle as co-champion here. Because remember, he has 2 titles now, so he's gonna have to defend both, right? We have the WWF Tag Team Championships on the line. The Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, taking on the Dudley Boyz. And I learned a little fact here. I actually was wrong when we were watching the show. I was listening to JR has a podcast called Gremlin and JR. It's not my favorite. I like Something to Wrestle With better, but JR covers more 2000 stuff than Bruce does. So he was talking about how Billy Gunn already had an arm injury going into the match, which is why the match was short and he wasn't involved in much. He would be off for like 8 months after this. So I thought that there's a moment in the match to talk about was what caused it, but he was already injured going into the match. And you thought they were going to lose too. This was the one match that you predicted correctly. Bubba lands a full Nelson drop to Road Dogg. Mr. Ass hits a famous sort of Devon Dudley, and then Bubba Ray immediately pulls out a pipe and ends up hitting Mr. Ass with it. And then the Dudleys hit 3D to Road Dogg, and we have new WWF Tag Team Champions, the Dudley Boyz. Now, my question, though, and afterwards the Outlaws argue, you knew the Outlaws were going to lose the title, obviously with Billy Gunn being injured, but do you think the Dudley Boyz were the right guys to win the titles instead of like the Hardys and Jim Christian?
Yeah, because it would have been like a hard fall between Edge and Christian and the Hardys, so it'll be like, the Dudleys are a bit more dominant, so they'll really have to work at it.
Okay. All right.
I could see like maybe APA beating them.
LA Boyz. Daniel celebrates his win in the lobby with the fans. I wish I was there. I would have been like, what, 6 or 7? Probably like 7. I would love it. Next, we have Viscera taking on Sexual Chocolate, Mark Henry. All boring and all because of Mae Young. Yeah, they even talked about that on Grilling with JR, that this match obviously was the shits. And they also talked about how Viscera carried around Viagra with him and he would watch porn. And they also said that he would like take Viagra and then just sit around in the locker room and like see what would happen after taking it.
Oh.
Which, yeah, so fun stuff there about Viscera, which I didn't know and didn't need to know. But this is the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast, so we got to deliver the important news here. So Viscera starts off with a spinning heel kick, and then he slams Mark Henry into the ring steps. Viscera lands a Samoan drop, and then pregnant Mae Young runs out. Viscera,
maybe he was pregnant. Maybe she got pregnant off Viscera.
With Viagra, right? And it's funny how his name is Viscera too. Viscera's Viagra. He should sell it. That'd be awesome. And it's his evil, like creepy eyes on the cover.
Yeah.
Viscera pushes Mae Young to the mat, and then he goes to splash her. But then Mark Henry lands a shoulder block and a body slam, and he defeats Viscera. So defending his woman, I even said during the match, he's got to do what he's got to do.
I would hope Mark Henry would beat Viscera.
Listen, at this point, if this baby doesn't come out deformed or fucked up, then God knows that I don't even know what to say, but something.
On to the next sucky match.
Well, hang on. Chris Jericho calls Kurt Angle a jackass and promises to stop his celebrations tonight. Now we have the #1 contendership tag match. Edge and Christian teaming against the Hardy Boyz with Terry, and the commentators JR and King continue to put over the fact that Terry has bought protection in the form of the APA on Sunday Night Heat, so the acolytes come out. And we're thinking going into it, obviously, that she's afraid of the Dudleys, but we find out actually why she wanted help. And also, something that I talk about, and they also talk about on the Grilling Jar podcast, is how skinny she is. Like, her bones, like you can just see.
Yeah,
it's bad.
No, I know, but that's like was the supermodel.
God, I can't. Sorry.
I still think she looks hot.
Dude, but I mean, listen, Jim Ross and Conrad are saying that it's that the bones are but she is attractive, head up. So this is a basic Edge and Christian Hardy Boyz tag match. Christian hits Matt Hardy with a neck breaker. He jumps onto Matt on the floor. Edge lands a pile driver, and then a sit-out power bomb to Jeff Hardy. Matt lands a flying elbow drop to Edge. And then Matt and Jeff land a splash leg drop combo to Christian, which is kind of cool. Matt hits a twist of fate, and then Terry Runnels jumps on the apron, pushes Jeff Hardy off the top rope onto the railing on the floor. She slaps Matt, and then Christian leans in on Prettier, and Edge and Christian get the victory. After Matt grabs Terry, but the APA destroy the Hardy Boyz, and that's the protection that she needed here from the Hardys.
Terry fucked over the Hardys.
Turned on them, man. That's not right.
They didn't protect her.
And Christian is playing the idea that he's not happy that that's how they got their victory here. But Edge is like, we won. The Hardys would have done it anyway. So it looks like we're getting Edge and Christian and the Dudleys at WrestleMania. So what are your thoughts on that? Right team win?
That should be a good match. So maybe we'll get like a table match where there'll be stipulation.
Next up, we have Tazz taking on the Big Boss Man with Prince Albert. And Jim Ross was talking again. This match was a dud. He said basically that Tazz
pretty boring again.
Yeah, Tazz got hired. He got that huge pop in Madison Square Garden. It's just they really didn't feel like because of his size that he was really gonna be able to beat a guy like Big Boss Man or other bigger guys like that. And JR basically said that guys like Big Boss Man, Albert, they didn't have anything to do, so they're like, we're just gonna put them with Tazz, and that's what they're gonna do. And that's kind of what happened here. This match was only like 40 seconds long. So I looked it up. Tazz is a T-bone suplex. He applies the Tazz mission to Boss Man, and then Prince Albert attacks Tazz. They destroy Tazz afterwards with a nightstick shots to ribs. Tazz bleeding, but he continues to get up. even though he's bleeding from the mouth. But Boss Man Albert straight Tazz here. So thoughts?
My thoughts are that Albert needs to wax.
I do too. I'm trying to get like a like that. It's not good. Every time I see myself, I think of Albert. I'm like, great. At least he was doing things. I will say that Albert will get a little bit more interesting soon. I will tell you. Okay, moving on. The no holds barred match: Kane with Paul Bearer versus X-Pac with Tori. It's a grudge match. Kane hits X-Pac with a trash can. They fight in the crowd. Tori slaps Paul Bearer, and then Paul chases Tori. Kane slams X-Pac into the steps. Paul then also attacks X-Pac on the floor.
That's the greatest moment of the whole night.
Was Paul Bearer fucking up X-Pac? He took up his moment.
But
He sure did. He was stomping the shit out of him.
dude, he was on top of him, punching him in the face. It was awesome.
Paul Bearer, man, that was like Jim Ross when he beat the shit out of Paul Heyman, which we'll see next year.
Yeah.
And Jim Ross going as he's doing it too. Come on, that was a Paul Bearer. Listen, Paul Bearer has watched so many Undertaker's matches. He's like, I gotta get a couple licks in. I gotta make more.
He sure did.
He did. X-Pac attacks Kane's leg. Kane lands a flying clothesline. Tori gets on the apron. Kane choke slams X-Pac. And then Kane tombstones that bitch Tori again. And then Kane has steps and X-Pac drop kicks the steps in Kane's face. Kane's arms are like held to the mat, and X-Pac gets the victory here. Yeah, I think Kane should have got the victory, but he could have. But Paul Bearer did most of this match though, so what are you gonna do, But decent match. JR said this was one of his favorite X-Pac matches. I don't see why. It really wasn't much.
Yeah, definitely.
But
X-Pac had good match.
yeah, no, he does, but not this one.
This was definitely not one.
No. Next up, we have Rikishi and Too Cool versus the Radicalz with Eddie Guerrero, and this is the Radicalz' debut in WWE on their pay-per-view. All 6 men fight to start the match. Grandmaster Sexay lands a missile dropkick to Perry Saturn. Rikishi puts, well, I don't want to say puts, but he basically gives Chris Benoit the stink face. Dean Malenko dropkicks Rikishi's legs. Rikishi super kicks Perry Saturn. Rikishi hits a Rikishi driver to Perry, and then Sky Ty delivers the worm drop. Chris Benoit hits a flying headbutt to Grandmaster Sexay. But Rikishi is able to land a Rikishi driver and Bonsai drop to Dean Malenko, and Too Cool and Rikishi get the victory here. The Radicalz haven't been doing well since coming to WWE. At first, they've been winning, and now they're losing everything. But
they're WCW. Of course, they're not going to have them.
Well, I mean, that's not, what do you think? You're right about that. That is what they did. But do you think that's kind of fair? Do you think they should?
No.
Yeah.
But
look at that little grimace.
Vince McMahon.
Well, decent match though, and you get Too Cool and Rikishi to dance afterwards. So fun stuff.
Yeah, but his broken ankle.
Yeah,
he's only broken half the time.
Well, yeah. Oh, we have a #1 contendership match: The Rock versus The Big Show. The talking is over. Who will go to WrestleMania 2000? We see Big Show military press The Rock across the railing on the floor. Rock lands a Russian leg sweep and a DDT for a 2. Big Show lands a side a side slam. The Rock accidentally hits the referee. Big Show lands a big boot and a choke slam. Shane McMahon runs out. You got excited. Rock hits Big Show with a chair, lands a rock bottom, and then as Rock is setting up the people's elbow, Shane McMahon runs in and hits The Rock with a steel chair, and the Big Show pins The Rock. Shane and the Big Show hug, and the Big Show is headed to WrestleMania 2000.
All this time, we've been waiting for McMahon to come back to level the playing field, and
Shane and the lever
didn't work out.
Yeah, things are gonna be. We're on the road to WrestleMania, baby. So things are heating up. It's gonna get good. Chris Jericho and China attack Kurt Angle in the parking lot, and they toss him in the trunk of a car. And so that's what Kurt Angle gets for celebrating his win. And we've made it to our main event, the WWF Championship in a Hell in a Cell match. WWF Champion Triple H with Stephanie McMahon Helmsley defending against Cactus Jack. If Cactus loses, this is his last match as an active wrestler in the WWE. These guys fight in the ring to start off. Triple H lands a face buster. Triple H tosses steps at Cactus Jack, and then he hits the steps with a steel chair after he places the steps on top of Cactus. Cactus hits a DDT to Triple H on the chair and a Russian leg sweep. We then see them head outside to the floor. Cactus Jack catapults Triple H into the cell. Triple H bleeds. And then Cactus Jack lands a jump off the apron with a steel chair of Triple H on the floor. Cactus Jack throws stairs at Triple H. Triple H ducks. It breaks the cell, so they're able to leave. Cactus Jack grabs a barbed wire 2x4 and hits Triple H with it. They climb up the cell, and then Triple H pushes Cactus Jack off the top. Well, now, yeah, he does push him off the top, and Cactus falls into the announce table. Cactus is able to climb up, and Triple H hits him with a 2x4. Cactus suplexes Triple H on the top of the cell, lights up that 2x4 on fire, and then hits Triple H with it. Triple H lands a backdrop to Cactus Jack, and Cactus Jack falls right through the cell. His body goes through the ring, reminiscent to kind of what happened to him at King of the Ring 98. And then Triple H lands a pedigree, and Triple H is still a WWF champion, and Cactus Jack is gone from the WWE. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the main event?
I couldn't believe it. I didn't think he was going to lose. I thought he had a match, but maybe he does.
We'll have to see. So overall, what did you think of this pay-per-view? A couple of duds.
A couple of duds, but it was good. It was unexpected. And it was a lot of shock value. So it was not good.
Well, we keep that for me, Topo, because I'm gonna like that thing, baby. We have covered all of No Way Out 2000. We've covered all of February. We're closing out the month, and we're heading into March. March, there's no pay-per-view because we're heading to WrestleMania 2000, which is April 2nd. So what we're going to do for that, we're obviously going to cover WrestleMania and all the Raws and SmackDowns leading up to it. But we're going to cover the month of March in our WrestleMania recap. So check that out. Also, if you want to check out more than just our Attitude Year stuff, we cover current Raw, SmackDown, and the WWE pay-per-views, as well as NXT, All Elite Wrestling Dynamite, and the All Elite Wrestling pay-per-views. You can check us out on YouTube, subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you can hear us on here. Or if you want to maybe listen in your car or listen, while you're in the shower or something, that would be pretty sexy. You could hear us while we're in the shower. Check out Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.